I want you to think back when the Wii was in its prime, and did you ever experience the greatness that was Call of Duty on the Nintendo Wii? If you did, you already know. If you didn't, well, you missed an era of gaming that will honestly go down in history. Welcome to the channel, everybody. Chaos here. Welcome to the new Chaos Call of Duty channel. I'm going to be saying this for a while, repeating myself at the beginning of videos. Don't worry. The main channel is still there. It's still the home of the COD History series and the Ranking Everything series, but we now have a new home for daily COD content. We're going to be doing daily updates, news, leaks, rumors, everything to do with day-to-day Call of Duty, from Warzone 2, Modern Warfare 2, future Call of Duties, heck, even COD Mobile at times. So, hopefully you guys enjoy that. Make sure you're subscribed with those notifications on, click the bell, all that stuff you've heard 4 million times over. Today, we're going back to greatness. Call of Duty is going back to the Nintendo. The Nintendo. Call of Duty is going back to Nintendo, specifically the Switch. That's right. Now, we know that things are dicey right now with Microsoft and the FTC and the whole Activision Blizzard buyout, merger, all that stuff. There's lawsuits being threatened and blocks and all kinds of stuff. It's crazy. Then you have Sony, who kind of have their hands crossed right now because they're not happy. And Microsoft just came out and said, hey, we want to sit down with them, but they kind of won't sit down with us. They're trying to propose a 10-year deal with them. So we'll see how we'll see how it all comes out. Now, at one point, or in one kind of way to look at this, Activision, Blizzard, they're about making money. They're getting sold, right? Big payout. Microsoft is about acquiring them to make money in a long, how would you say, long tail form, right? But I do feel that Xbox and Microsoft are sincere in the fact that they want Call of Duty to come out on all platforms at the same time. And there's two reasons I feel that way. One, they're trying to set up 10-year deals. They don't have to do that. If they get through with this buyout, they can do whatever they want. Call of Duty's theirs. They could literally say, no, PlayStation, you get it a year later. But I think they understand that it drives competitiveness, and the community can come together when there's more options and more platforms to play on. So I truly think they get that. I think they see that. Now, I know it's a business first, and people will say, oh, don't be naive, Jimmy, but I honestly do feel that way. I feel like they want it to be something where it is available to everybody, or they wouldn't be offering these 10-year deals to their straight competitors. So, what does all of that have to do with today? Well, I kind of feel reaffirmed with that thought of Phil Spencer and Xbox with what they just announced. And this came from Charlie Intel, and it looks like Call of Duty's coming home, kind of. It's going to be available on the Nintendo Switch. You heard me right. In an official interview from the Washington Post, CEO Phil Spencer himself said they made a deal with a rival brand, and he kind of called out Sony in the middle of this. And the tweet from Charlie Intel says, in an interview with the Washington Post, Xbox Phil Spencer says their intention is to bring new Call of Duty games to Nintendo, but previously released COD games will be looked at too. Their intention is new Call of Duty releases on the PlayStation, the Xbox, the PC, and Nintendo all at the same time, which is absolutely amazing. Now, this is going to be for the Nintendo Switch, and I know the memes are already out there of this is how it's going to look on a Nintendo Switch, but don't forget, we're probably getting pretty close to figuring out what the next Nintendo console is, which we know it's going to be beefier. It has to be. You have to stay up with the times, so maybe it'll be something amazing. Maybe it'll be more like a traditional console that could actually run Call of Duty. Now, they say the deal does not specify the first year Call of Duty will be available on the Nintendo Switch. A new Call of Duty title is coming out, will likely be the first to arrive on the Nintendo Switch, though Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer told the Washington Post that the entire portfolio would be looked at to see which titles make it over, meaning you could get past Call of Duties that are brought over to the Switch as well. I think the first Call of Duty you would probably see is probably whatever they do is extended content in Modern Warfare 2 in 2023. Heck, it could be 2024, but they're gonna try to make it where Nintendo Switch owners get Call of Duty on day one, which I think that's huge. I do. The Microsoft president even tweeted out in a separate tweet, and he thanked Nintendo. He said it's good for competition and it's good for consumers, which it is. It breeds competition for the companies to make sure they're on their A game, and it's great for consumers. They get to pick the platform they want to play on. He thanks Nintendo, but he also calls out Sony. He literally tags Sony in this tweet, and he said, any day Sony wants to sit down and talk, we will happily hammer out a 10-year deal for PlayStation as well. So that's where I'm reaffirmed in their sincerity of keeping the community together when it comes for Call of Duty, at least for a decade. That's a long time. That is a long time in business years to make that type of commitment. So the offer's out there for Sony and PlayStation to sit down and figure out a 10-year deal where Call of Duty will be offered up on day one, no exclusivity rights or anything for Xbox, even though they own it. So we'll see what happens. Sony's usually the last ones on all of this. You guys remember when they didn't want to do the cross-play or any of that? So we'll see. We'll see what happens. There's a lot of drama around the whole acquisition. So if the acquisition doesn't happen, all of this doesn't really matter. But it seems like Microsoft's pretty confident they're going to be able to move forward. They're making deals with Nintendo, and they're trying to make deals with Sony. Let me know what you think. Which one are you playing first on? How's Warzone 2 going to run on Nintendo Switch? You guys let me know, and I'll see you soon.